Look, a lot of the reason why people are not happy and anxious and scared is because they, in their mind, they have all these expectations about how things should be. I have to have this career. I have to find love. I have to do all these things to be happy. I have to get more money to be happy, right? But oftentimes when we ask people, well, why do you want to be successful? Oh, so that I could just be happy one day. Well, you can be happy now. Because you're chasing a feeling of what? You're chasing something. Comfort and peace, right? And happiness. Well, you can get all those right now. Pure happiness comes from the fact that you recognize that you don't need any of those other things. They're great. Getting them is great. I'm not saying don't get those things. But happiness comes from the fact that you recognize you don't need those things right now to be happy. It's a recognition that you on your own being, just being is enough. That's where happiness comes from. You know? Just be. There's a lot of peace that comes from this. When you pair it up with determinism, right? Recognizing that the past is out of our control and gone and done. The present, the future is yet to come. We don't control what happens in next. In the present, we don't control what happens. We're just being. We're just living. And so letting go of all those expectations and thoughts and anxieties, just let them go. And recognize that all that matters is that you're alive and we're here. You know? And I don't need God to be happy. I don't need to believe in Jesus. I don't have to believe in Muhammad. I don't need to worship a black rock. I don't need to worship a cross. I don't need to be married. I can just be. You know, I'm breathing. I'm living. And that's really freeing. Really freeing to do that. When you also recognize our place in the universe, the earth is just a speck. You know? People are scared of that. Look, a lot of people are scared to come to this place. Right? Because they think that if you go to the place where we become insignificant in all this, where there is no ultimate purpose, oh, that's scary. That means we don't mean anything. But instead of running away from that feeling, stop running away from it. Face it. Face that scary monster of insignificance. We're insignificant. We're here. We're the most insignificant thing ever. Are you still there? I'm still fine. Wow, I'm still fine. Even though we're the most insignificant things in the universe, we're still fine. We're still here. And there's nothing to run away from. And that's why a lot of people are scared, because they think that if you get to that insignificance, that means life is terrible. No, it's the opposite. Life is amazing when you just come to grips with that insignificance and you embrace it. You recognize that it's not so bad. It's not so scary. And that's another reason why I think atheism is important. Because it kind of makes you realize that there's nothing to be scared about in this universe. I don't need that crutch. The crutch of religion. Because when you keep... Look, why do you think a lot of theists are... They have a lot of confusion. They have a lot of deep down there. They have a lot of anxiety about, oh my God, how do we supposed to, is this upsetting God? Is God going to be okay with this? Am I going to go to hell? Am I going to go to heaven? What if this isn't real? Oh, What if atheism is real? What if we don't have free will? Oh my God. Like, think about all that anxiety that theism brings up in us. That atheism just goes, that's all garbage. Throws it out. Throws it back up. Right? It's that freeing, and you can't explain this to somebody in a sentence, right? This takes time for somebody to recognize these things and learn all this, as it took me years to learn all this, you know. So that's why learning about science for some people is very scary, but for me, I love it, because every time I learn something new, I recognize, wow, maybe we are interesting. Maybe there is something significant here. And it's not coming from a place of, oh no, what's our significance? It's a place of real, true, pure recognition that something amazing is happening here. We're humans. We're living. We're breathing on this rock. We're doing amazing things. And it's not coming from a place of, oh, we have to do this or else. It's coming from a place of, we're just naturally this way. And so you kind of build that kind of world, that kind of perspective from that science, that atheist perspective, secular perspective. You know, you deconstruct and then you build. There shouldn't be all this pressure, right? In school, when you go to science class, you're presented with all these things, all this knowledge, and then you have to memorize it for an exam, right? That's how science is presented to us in school. Information, memorize, spit it out. That's not science. Science is really a way of recognizing the connection between you and the world around you. You know, it's a way of recognizing very deep connections between us and the universe. It's also a way to leverage curiosity. I mean, every person's curious. Every human being is curious in something. And science is a tool that helps facilitate that curiosity in a proper and a disciplined way. And so yeah, science is something that should be exciting and fun, because learning should be fun. Now, I'm not saying that every person should become a scientist, no. But every person should have the thinking, the fundamental thought about how science works.